G'day guys, Sam here again. Wednesday the 5th of June. Let's look at BNB. Look at two scenarios, a bullish and a bearish scenario. We did take the trade and we're in profit at the moment, but it was slightly late on the scene. Why? Because this was a breakout trade. So we're on the daily chart, and we had our lines lined up. If you look at this formation and the moving average, you can see the squeeze was on ever so slightly, and you can see in the past there were some trading opportunities for swing trading, and that's the nature of the beast. Take out the liquidity, come back down. Take out the liquidity, come back down. So what makes you think this is going to be a breakout? Oh, it's touched it so many times, so the more it touches the better. And you can see this. Also, the 50 daily moving average played a real nice role on the daily, and the squeeze was on. As Bitcoin broke up, I was confident with Bitcoin going up, and therefore it made sense that the likes of BNB will do the same. And I actually called this out level in the group, saying that it could be a slight entry to shorting, because what we have here is all-time high for Binance, 691, more so. And then we've got our value area high and our port of control. And so there we go. We've actually created all-time new high. How do we see that? Let's just go back a bit. Let's go back to the daily. There we go. So the all-time high is there. This is on the Binance exchange. So we are above the all-time high. Therefore, we are very aware that the liquidity could be taken and then come back down. And we have the previous weekly level or a significant level of interest here. So if you just go across, you can see our levels here on the daily. That was our daily level, and that was significant resistance. So you would imagine that coming back here, that we will find support. So I'm expecting the back test. Question is, how high would it go before it does the back test? And that's the thing. So when you look at it, we're looking at it from a bullish perspective, yep, but it's also a dangerous period. Now let's talk about this overall structure. Overall structure can be distribution, or it can be reaccumulation. I have, based on a few assumptions, if you look at this chart, the way I've done my Fibonacci, 0, and now 1 roughly equals there, based on this assumption. Based on this 0.382 assumption, therefore the 1 is there. And the 1 roughly is $754. So if this was to continue, I see the fib extension of 1 using this assumption method, that will be a level of significance. That is somewhat from the breakout, 20% move. Confident that this could be a pullback, back test, and that will be a point of entry. But we've got to see how that holds up before we make another entry. Right, so what else can we say about this chart? Well, we can do the swing high. That's level 1, also wave 1, and you can see just by doing that, 1.618 is there as well. So let's just change that color. Let's make it red and have a closer look. So you can see how I'm looking at this, the golden ratio. Do we have any confluence? Not really. Do this. That's our all-time low. If that's our golden ratio, more highs. If it was to go higher, that will be another level of interest. Here we have our Elliott wave count, in essence. If we were to say that is a 1, that's a 2, this is a 3, 4. So we might be able to get a 5 here or even higher. So that 1.618 or lower. Interesting enough, you can see that our 1.618 was our level of support. So we're looking from a bullish perspective at the moment, and what we might see levels of interest. So this Fibonacci, as we did, makes sense. 1.414, interesting enough. So that's saying 3 to 4, and then a 5, and the further 5 up there, which is 860. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. So what happens down the track. Going back, Now, this is the issue where we have to become bearish. If we look at this structure, this says 1,000 psychological number makes sense that it could be resistance, a significant resistance. And we have our 1. Let's see what this does. 1.2. We just got to see how this plays out. If the 1 gets hit and we feel a pullback, that might be a 3 to 4, very similar to a formation maybe for the likes of Link, if you have a look at the chart. Here is my concern. All right, where's that chart that I have? This is a distribution model, and you can pretty much say that we are aligned with it at the moment. So we have our base, so that is our base. That lines up with that. We have a push to the upside. So this one had a double bottom. So selling climax, secondary test, spring, and then you can see it breaks above the previous. So we've done that. And so if we do that type of thing and then come back down, that's your shorting position, guys, for confirmation. Back test, it could probably just drop hard, but I am very aware of this elite wave, schematic, Wyckoff schematic, that we can potentially drop further down. So have your lines, very late to enter, have your stop losses, but this model, many alts are bearish. So BNB is not so. The fact that it moved this strong, there's a strong uptrend, it hasn't changed. And if we look on the weekly, let's have a look at our indicators. We're getting a crossover here. That's a good sign. And from our indicators, let's go back to our daily. I think it was the daily one. So that, as long as we don't drop below this band, we are bullish. That basically means there, really. Let's just hide this. Back to our daily and our indicators. So we can see how that worked out, didn't it? This is the wave trend. I like wave trend. Sometimes RSI does a good job, but we can see the wave trend tapping ever so slightly, pulling back, and then the breakout. Now we've got this momentum to the upside. We can find resistance, but in the past, our resistance was above it. So that might mean that we can still further go up, even if there's a back test. I still have the little short in there with my longs in there and my shorts there. I just look for a scalp trade. If it does pull back, great. If it doesn't, but this is the strategy I would suggest to adopt. If you get a good entry with your long, look for levels of significance to do a short, probably half the leverage than your long. So you can make up for your fees and all the rest as it drops, take profit. And if it drops further, well, then you could mitigate your longs as well. So you're playing both sides, especially when you get to a level of significance. So that's my hat on this. Very nice structure. I came late on the scene to it. Keep forgetting to look at certain charts. I need to improve my methodology. But yeah, that gave the breakout significantly. And on the smaller time frame, it was there as well. So if you look on the smaller time frame, the reversal was here. We have that reversal level, and from an image perspective, you can probably say that was a triangle type of thing. Like Bitcoin, the squeeze was there, and off it went. And you can see how nicely it went, really strong. Bit of a rejection. I would say that might play rejection. I keep my shorts in there. You might take out that and then come back down. We've got to see what Bitcoin does at the same time. But yeah, the volume is very nice to the upside. Not much selling off. So at this point, I think it probably might just go sideways. maybe slightly come down to this, but this all-time high would be a good entry. If it was to come back down, pretty bearish, but that will be my level of interest to go along. Let's see how that works out. Yep, the golden ratio as well as the value area high in this. So I'm going to leave that, guys. Please give me a like and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
There you have it. Please give Sam a like, share, and subscribe to his channel to support him for doing more of these posts.